Hello everyone, we are back. It is the night and we will be starting another Merge Tribal Council shortly. The players are being yelled at to line up and get ready, so they will be filing in to join us shortly. And here they come. Well, she'll get the memo. All right, we've got Kendall, Ned, Kira, Patrick, Andy, Kaylee, Amy, Isaiah, Dion. Is that everyone? I don't know. And we're waiting on the last person to find the tribal council area. Check out the moon. We were commenting that it looks like a little DreamWorks moon. Got the fire roaring in the fire pit. And Liz has joined us.
A little bit of a false start there. Sorry, everyone. All right, and now I will bring in the first member of our jury. Rayhan voted out at our last time.
Woo! Rayhan will stand by and take in this tribal council.
So let's start with Isaiah.
I didn't get one last time.
Did I skip you last time? I apologize. There's a lot of you. Speak up if you want to be heard. Isaiah, the game.
Oh yes. Speaking of speaking up, please speak up for the viewers. They couldn't hear you well last time. Thank you.
Never hurts to have a reminder. So now the game changes a lot differently. When you come to this place, you are putting on a show. At the end of the game, you will need to make these jury members vote for you. So how does that change how you approach tribal council? Are you going to be a little bit more overt with what you're doing to try to make sure the jury understands your control of the game?
I don't think, for me personally, at this moment, I'm wanting the jury to see me controlling the game because I don't necessarily feel like I'm controlling the game. So I don't want to give them false hope. And I feel at the same time, though, too, if I am at any point in this game taking control of even a round of a single vote and stuff like that, like, yes, I would want them to see it, but at the same time, I'm okay with them not seeing it because it makes, I feel, a final jury speech or a final jury answer better when you're surprising the jury when they might have not seen it with their own eyes, and you can actually come back with like proof and, you know, facts and all of that kind of stuff. So kind of that's not my goal right now with tribal councils and things like
Fair enough. Patrick, do you agree with that? I mean, how do you measure the balance of making sure that, you know, at the end of the day, the jury needs to think that, you know, you had played a part in this, but you also don't want to seem to be too big a threat, right? We just have the touchy subjects. A lot of threats might have been pointed out in different ways. How do you handle that balance?
I guess, I mean, to me, merged tribals, I don't handle them different than tribals earlier. I mean, anyone that is on the jury has played with this group, has been able to, you know, see what they're capable of, has built relationships with them. I think it's about being genuine and telling the story of what's happening, but you also, you know, people have to protect their own games as well as part of that.
Yeah. Kaylee, from my perspective, feels like the gloves are still on with this group. So we had the auction as a group. It was all very friendly, a lot of sharing, a lot of kindness. And then that first vote was a pretty large majority. Do you feel like the gloves are going to come off soon, or are they coming off? Did you notice the gloves starting to come off in that kind of scramble before this tribal?
Yeah, I'd say the gloves came off a little bit. That was a little bit of a more stressful, he said, she said kind of chaos that I don't know that all of us have experienced yet. I certainly hadn't, but you know, at the end of the day, it's a game, and that's what we all have to remember. It's a game. We're here to play. We're here to compete. You know, hopefully we have some lifelong friends here afterwards, and just trying to lean into that and not take things too personally. But it's tough when you hear what other people are saying or trying to pitch against one another. But it's all a game, so that's what I'm trying to keep in mind.
Okay. Amy, you received some votes at the last tribal council. Sometimes, you know, when your name's written down on that parchment, it's a lot easier for that name to come out at the next tribal council or the next voting. Do you feel like you're in a particularly more trouble than you felt like you were in before that tribal?
More? No. Less? Probably not. I haven't heard my name this round, and the only difference is I was being told my name the last two. So hopefully I get a break this round.
Okay. Dion, do you feel like after last vote a large majority alliance has formed, or do you feel like we're still kind of operating on different small blocks that are coming together for maybe a vote or two?
I'm not convinced that there's a larger majority from the last vote. I think that that was a vote that came about because it was better than a different plan for the majority of the people left. And so now it's the same format. What's the better of the plans that's going to work for the majority? It's probably not well explained, but it's rather than a majority getting what they want, it's going to be halfway down for some people, it's going to be halfway up for some people. I think everybody's kind of trying to find that middle ground.
So I think Andy was talking about last time, you know, playing it safe to kind of appease the entire group rather than maybe making a bigger play. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say playing it safe. It's definitely not a safe move. You still have to trust that people are going to do what they're saying. And when people are saying a lot of things, it's, you know, you kind of just want to go with the best bet. So not playing it safe. You're placing your bets and you're hoping for the best.
Sure.
Yeah.
Andy, so you had said that at the last tribal council that you felt like you were frustrated that potentially an easier vote would have been done versus something that might be more impactful. I don't know what side you were on. Do you care to enlighten me? Do you feel like that might have been the easy vote, or was that one of the more difficult votes that you were talking about?
I think the group was starting to take a step in the right direction. When you talk about taking the gloves off, this latest round, there was a bit more of that. And frankly, I think I've been a little too aggressive in my survivor coaching out in the field here. There's a lot of people here who have a chance to win this game, and they aren't all looking around and saying, how good is that chance? And who do I need to get gone to give myself that chance? And I was trying to encourage people to see what I see and what I see to be the truth. And I think that got me in a whole heap of trouble because, you know, some people who are playing this game very, very well suddenly maybe felt some heat or some worry or had people coming back and talking to them. Of course, those people who ran and talked to them should ask themselves, why are you going back and telling somebody who, well, doesn't that person have more power than you then? Isn't that one person in a better position to win than you are? And here I am, I'm doing it again. I'm overcoaching, it's what I do. But you know, in the end, I'm disagreeing with Dion in that from this point on, everyone here needs to be trading punches. Anything less than that is a safe move, and there's going to be a whole bunch of people sitting up here that are going to have regrets and are going to be sitting over there or going to be sitting next to someone who trounces them simply because they didn't make the moves when they needed to.
There's a lot of things I would love to dive in there too, but one thing that stood out is you specifically said a lot of people have a chance to win this game. Do you feel like there are people left that do not have a chance to win this game?
Well, it's what we did with touchy subjects, right? People have already, in their hearts and minds, minimized certain people. Could they put together, it's that game you play, right? Like, could I beat any possible configuration of a Final Three? And if you can't imagine a Final Three that you can win, then you've already lost. And again, I think these players are fantastic. I think some of them have much lower odds, but it's not impossible. And those people need to gang up and take out the people who have the highest odds, or they're not going to win.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be down to 9 after this, Kira. I mean, is it too early to start planning Final Three configurations? Hey, I need to be here with this person. I need to be here with this person. I mean, are you offering those type of deals? Is that something you're already starting to think about or even talk about, Kira?
Well, wouldn't you like to know, Cam? I don't think it's ever too early to be anticipating your success in the future. But this game is so unpredictable that, I mean, everything changes in a split moment. So, I mean, you can have hopes and just play your best and just talk your heart out. That's really all you can do.
Yeah, fair enough. That's the way Andy describes it. I mean, I think he said, there's a lot of people with a chance to win. There's a lot of people who are really good Survivor players. Do you feel like it's sort of a thing of if everyone's a threat, no one's a threat? Is that something that's sort of happening now?
Everyone's a threat. No one's a threat. I don't know. I don't know if I see it quite that way. I think, look, Andy's totally right that there are. This is a really talented group of players that we're playing with who I think all have a lot of heart and really want to be here. And I think we all would like to be friends with each. I will speak for myself. I'd like to be friends with everyone outside of this game. I think where I might disagree a little bit with maybe your question, maybe I'm misunderstanding it, is I think everyone has different threat level assessments and everyone has different threat tolerance for their game. Right now, okay. and that's fine.
Fair enough. We're nearing the end of day 3 here, Kendall, and getting down to kind of fewer and fewer people. How much more personal are each of the vote-offs, and is that starting to weigh on it? Hey, maybe this person's on the lower side of the numbers, or their name's being thrown around, but I can't personally bring myself to make that move.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to connect with people and then, unfortunately have to vote them out, but it's the game. And you just hope that the people that you connect with the most do want to work with you and want to keep you here too.
Okay. Liz, got the necklace. You don't have to worry. That said, we just talked about you being voted most under the radar threat. You then come back and win a challenge. Seems like you're trying to prove that wrong real quick. So, I mean, how do you feel like you're managing your threat level? I mean, are you starting to weigh that more and more as the day goes on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely, something that I thought about, when I had this necklace. And so for this vote, I think it's kind of weighing. I don't want to push too hard. I don't want to be seen as, a threat. And I think that there are a lot of other people here who may perceive that, but I don't think that I'm the biggest threat that is out there right now.
Fair enough. I'll play a couple games with you all right now. So we can deduce there were 2 votes for Amy. At least one of the votes for Amy still remains in this game, if not both of them. Does anyone want to cop to that? Did that come up in the discussion right now?
Oh yeah, we know who it was.
Okay. Anyone want to admit it? Okay. Do you feel like, Kendall, that has put you on the outs as you started this strategy discussion, or is it water under the bridge by this point and everyone's moved on?
Yeah, I think I'm a little on the outs of what's going on, so it's not a great feeling.
Okay. Interesting. The other question I wanted to pose to the group is, I feel like normally these votes come down to 1 or 2 or 3 names. You've all done an amazing job being very cagey, and I don't feel like I have a great understanding of those three names. Does anyone want to toss around like, all right, let's get down to it. It's between X and Y.
I know my name's out there.
Okay.
I don't know what other names it's between, but I know my name was presented by a group of people at some point in the later stages of the strategy period. So I assume you're going to ask how I handled that. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think? Please. You guys run it. I don't even need to be here.
Come on, drop in for a job.
You've all been here for 3 days. You've all been thrown through the ringer of tribes and swaps and other tasks and have gotten to meet the majority of these people up to this point. So I focused on solidifying, you know, I treat this game, you know, carefully. Like I'm not just gonna pull in all 10 people and throw my crap at the wall and hope that something sticks. I am gonna focus in on the people that I feel like I've built trust with and built relationships with, and that I hope will have my back and reinforce that, and hope it works out.
Awesome. Anyone else have anything to say? No? I think we are good to vote then. Start with Dion.
All right. So with that, we will head away to the dark and scary corner over here. Maybe we'll go somewhere a little more lit up this time. It won't be as scenic, but I think I would not be able to find my mossy boulder. So we'll just come around here, maybe towards the garage. Just passing our hot tub room, because the prod house has a hot tub, which is fun. Although I need to stop talking about that because y'all, there's so much to discuss. It is crazy. Yeah, sorry this isn't more scenic, but I feel like because, yeah, we'll just be in the garage. So sorry for the ugliest tea time that has ever existed, but it's fine. We'll focus on the contents and not the aesthetic. So, y'all, everything is so crazy and this is so wild and everything is chaotic. This is literally my sheet to show y'all, and it's like all these arrows and question marks and circles. So here we go. Let's start out with Andy. So Andy, coming off of the last vote out, and we heard him again talking about it at Tribal Council, how important it is for him that the group start voting out threats and big names. And coming off of the last Tribal Council, he just does not understand these people, direct quote, and doesn't understand why they're voting the way they're voting, why they're voting people that he perceives as like not a big enough threat, when all of these like big time, you know, people are out there. He just really isn't understanding why people are doing what they're doing, and as a result, you know, doesn't know what to be like, just like doesn't get it. So all right, I'm trying to see. Okay, so God, there's like so much to say. So that is Andy. So in Patrick land, Patrick, in a little bit of hot water, as he is apparently admitting to us, he before the Mary vote, so this is going all the way back to the pre-merge, threw out Amy and Isaiah's names in an effort to try and save Mary. I know Mary was very suspicious that Patrick voted against her, but he did not. And Rayhan was actually the one that kind of messed everything up. And so Patrick was super upset because he felt like Rayhan had kind of like ruined the alliance and like the group he had going. But then Rayhan left. Yeah. Sorry, I'm hearing. Oh, okay. That scared me. I thought it was a player. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, so he was already not in like the best of spots because he made a few kind of unnecessary enemies by throwing out Amy and Isaiah's names. And this round, he kind of tried to pit Kendall and Kaylee against each other. So the vote for a while was between Kendall and Kaylee. It might maybe still be. I'm not totally sure. Kendall was on. I'm sorry that this is all over the place, but that's how this is going. So Kendall on the outs of the last vote, along with Ned. Ned actually banked his vote, but was completely left out of the vote, thought Amy was going home, and did not know Rayhan was going home. So Ned was super kind of like downtrodden going into this tribal council, convinced that it was him that would be going home, thinking that like he couldn't trust anyone and that he didn't have anyone and that it's him, and had heard the names Kendall and Kaylee, but was convinced it was like just a fake plan, but that actually he was going home, which was just a huge departure from his kind of persona or like in-game up until this point. Apparently he's been in his confessionals being like, I'm running this game, like this is my game, and like all this stuff. So it was like a crazy departure from the norm for Ned. Ned, let's see. I don't know why I circled that. Okay, yeah, so Ned is sad and doesn't totally know what's happening. Sorry, I'm looking at all my arrows. In other Kendall news, Kendall actually grabbed the idol at the tribal council table that Kaylee had a clue for. As we saw at tribal council, Kaylee did not grab it, and so Kendall came and snagged it along with Liz, and Liz and her know about this idol. So originally Liz had been hearing Kendall's name and was considering telling Kendall to use that idol on herself if she would be catching the majority of the votes, with Liz's plan to then hopefully idol out Isaiah. So that's also been coming up. Let's see. What else? Okay, oh yes, Kendall and Kaylee seem to have caught wind of the fact that like Patrick pitted them against each other, so then now they might be working together to try and get out Patrick instead, and I think they're trying to like get this group together with maybe like Amy and by proxy Andy. Andy referred to Amy as his one true person in this game, so I think they're a very tight duo, and I think we've seen that throughout the challenge field and like stuff. They tend to gravitate to each other, so I'm not shocked by that. Another tight duo being Patrick and Liz. They are super tight, and Liz and Ned are also super tight as well. Let's see, in Dion news, Dion at one point knew that the vote was between Kendall and Kaylee, but was hoping it would be Kaylee because he felt like that would be better for his game. And I'm so glad someone in the chat was asking about the idol that Ned gave Kendall, because if you'll recall, before the merge, Ned gave Kendall his idol just in case Kendall needed to play it to save herself. But that idol actually expired, and so Kendall still physically has it, and now Kendall's plan is to go plant it somewhere and hope that someone finds it, because it is now an inactive idol and cannot actually be used as a hidden immunity idol. So she's gonna be like hiding in the necklace and hoping someone finds it. Yeah, let's see, what else? In all of this madness, I think Isaiah is considering banking his vote this time because he thought about it last time but didn't bank it. So Isaiah might be banking. I am not entirely sure. I think Liz might have banked last round along with, yeah, so Liz and Ned banked last round, so they both have extra votes. Liz obviously with the necklace around her neck, and I'm sure, so Liz was kind of talking about how with the necklace around her neck, she didn't want to like push so hard, which I'm sure is extremely frustrating to Andy, who's saying, no, this is the time to push hard. This is the time to make risky but big payoff moves, and not take the safe route, but to go big or go home, basically. So, yeah, let's see. I think that might cover it. I'm just checking all of my arrows again. Oh, so yeah. I also know that Kira is super tight with Patrick, as is Liz, and so I think Kira and Patrick are definitely voting together for presumably Kaylee or Kendall, but I'm not entirely sure which one. This is just, yeah, I told y'all this was a lot and I was not kidding. Yeah, I'm sorry if this is confusing as hell, but that's because it is. So we're all in this together. This merge tribe is giving. Like, they're so ridiculous. I'm also realizing no one knew I came to the garage. Maybe except Michael. So I might need to go back so they're not just like having to yell my name. Let's see. Trying to think of any last things I might have missed. I don't know. That like things were all over the place. It was really nuts. So yeah. I guess let's head on down the way here back to the tribal council area. I imagine that you know, if we haven't gotten there yet, then we will soon. Someone was saying they still didn't understand the vote banking. That's okay because it's confusing, but I can talk about that while we head kind of back towards the area, since it's common knowledge to all the players. So with vote banking, every time the players approach the voting booth, they have the choice to vote as usual in a tribal council, or they can choose not to vote. They then take that parchment that they would have voted on, and that acts as a extra vote for a future tribal council that they can use. They can only have one banked vote at a time in their possession, so they can't ever do it more than, I guess, like once until they use up that vote. So it looks like we're slightly early, but I'm sure we'd rather be slightly early than super late, because as you can tell, it is the nighttime and it is super late already. Looks like our last player is heading on out to vote. Rayhan, first juror, has been taking this all in silently. I'm sure his wheels have been turning. It's been a very fun one to to watch. Yeah, someone asked me down near the river if, like, they were like, oh, is that your hosting voice? And I was like, yeah. So they're different. All right, our players are just silently waiting, having cast their votes, or maybe not. Maybe they banked them. Who's to say?
All right. I'll go tally the votes.
All right, and away Cam goes as Kendall returns. He will be counting up all the votes over there. Maybe they are many, maybe they are few. Rayhan shivering over here, perhaps with anticipation, perhaps because he's a little chilly. Oh yes, the moon is very pretty from here. We were commenting earlier that it looks like a DreamWorks moon from their logo. Oh my god, viewers, y'all are hilarious. I love this. Keep all these hot takes coming, please. Wouldn't you like to know? Ooh, I spy Cam and a voting box heading this way.
All right. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play one, now would be the time to do so. I'll get to the votes. First vote. Andy. Second vote. Dion. Third vote. Andy. Fourth vote. Andy. Fifth vote. Andy. Sixth vote. Andy. Seventh and final vote. Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, the time is over. Thank you.
Good luck, everybody.
All right, and away we walk from the tribal council area with Andy. We're going to be heading, let's see. Let me turn on my flash so they can actually see you and you can actually see where you're going. We're going to walk up this hill near Old Tyrem, which I don't know that you ever were at. So, surprise! One of the campuses up this way. As we are still live streaming, of course, which is why this light is in your face. And as soon as we get far enough up on the path, it'll be your time to just share anything that's on your mind with the viewers, and then I'll ask you a couple questions. So I think this might be far enough right up here. Thank you so much, and you're welcome to drop your stuff or hold it, whatever you prefer. All right, so this is your time. Anything you'd like to share?
Well, first of all, it's the first time I've ever had my torch stuff.
Wow.
I played once 9 years ago and got taken out on a twist as opposed to getting voted out. So it's a novel experience, but not a pleasant one.
Sure.
What to say? As I said in Tribal, I fall into this mode and I should just keep my mouth shut. Where I start trying to coach people up and point out the things that they really need to do if they want to have a chance to win the game. And as I mentioned when I was writing my vote, there's going to be a whole lot of regrets. And I hope at least a few of them find me at the after party and tell me that I was
right. All right. Always nice to get that validation and a little bit of an I told you so. Yeah. I totally get it. Yeah. Sorry. So Andy, congratulations on a game very well played. Lots to be proud of. You made it all the way to the end of day 3, and you are in fact our second juror. No small feat. So you got to see a lot of this game, do a lot of this game. I would love to hear maybe something that you're most proud of about your time out here.
Well, the last time I played, despite my tribe floundering a bit, I was always in a position of control, and I never had it here. Partly because these are great players, partly because of twists and turns and swaps and going down to exile, and I was struggling to find my footing, and I've talked a lot. I've blogged about Survivor. I've talked about it certainly more than enough, and there are people who can play well from when they're ahead, people who can play well when they're behind, and rarely are people good at both, or we don't know if they're good at both because they only get to exist in one of them. And I got to play from behind this entire game. Obviously, I went out earlier than I wanted to, but I'm pretty proud. I mean, there were, I don't know, 9 or 10 moments, just gut checks, where I thought, I'm not even going to make merge. What can I do to get there? And I did all of those things. I got to merge. Thought I would be the merge boot. It looked like I was going to be. Did a little more scrambling and avoided it there. But then my mouth got the better of me.
It sure did. It seems like you were trying to teach a lot of these players kind of about, you know, the thought process, kind of your school of thought in Survivor. This game also can teach us a lot as we play it. I'd love to know, did you learn anything about yourself or about the game during your time here?
On a less serious note, I learned that I'm older now. Taking 9 years off between games, you learn a thing or two about how much harder it is to sleep on the ground. But really, I've always said that Survivor is a game that it gives you what you need if you let it. And
it's okay.
You know, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm getting older now, and I got kids at home, and you just want to show them you can still do it.
Well, someone named Bentley Baker just said, "Love you, Dad," heart in the chat. So, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make you super cry, but yeah.
Although I'm sure he's going to give me crap for rolling around in the woods while you live stream that one.
Oh my God. I was fearing for your life that game, and everyone in the comments was like, we need a wellness check. We're worried for Andy's safety. Please let us know he's okay.
I'm reasonably well scarred. I will have things to remember the event. But since you mentioned Bentley, like a lot of people, you know, you play this game for charity. And Bentley is named after my father and my father's first son. Who died of a drug overdose. And so I've been raising money for the SAFE project. God. I'm not even sad I'm out of the game. I'm sad I didn't get a few more notches and make a few more dollars for the cause, and maybe test myself a little bit more. But I'm deeply grateful for what you do.
Well, we're so happy that you joined us. Before I let you go, if you want to shout out the official name of your charity so that all the viewers know exactly who you are playing for.
Playing for the SAFE project to stop the addiction fatality epidemic. They help people with addiction issues so that families don't have to go through what my family did, losing a loved one. Contribute. They're amazing.
All right, Andy, thank you so much. And again, congratulations on making it so far in this game. You have a lot of fans. I'm going to go ahead and pass you off now to your tribe handler, but I'll walk you back down the hill here so that we can both see where we're going, because it's dark.
Two things. You're great.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I'm sorry I was tearing up there.
Oh my gosh. No, literally everyone has teared up pretty much all day. You are wildly not alone. All right, I'm going to drop you with Robbie, and we will let you go. All right, and here is Cam. I believe we are getting set.
We're gonna take a short break. We're just finishing setting up the last challenge of the day, and we'll get going shortly, but not too long of a break.
Okay, great. Maybe like 5 minutes?
Yeah, 10 maybe.
10,
yeah.
5, okay, 10 minutes. All right, I'll see you back here in 10 minutes for the very last challenge of the day.